What are the strengths of the 2014 Wildcats as we get set to start the season?
Yeah, I think the strengths are going to be a couple key arms in James Ferris and Tyler Crawford and Matt Troop. So three of those guys. I mean, those guys are proven veterans, part of a national championship. Very big reasons for a national championship. And then you have the position guys too, and Riley Moore, Trent Gilbert. Kevin Newman off a phenomenal year last year as a freshman. And then, you have some key young guys coming in. Michael Hort, a local kid from South Point High School, is going to make a real solid run at hitting in the middle part of our lineup and playing first base. A young man by the name of Dahlbeck, who's a big-time athlete, going to play third base for us. So, there's a good balance, but I think the main thing you have is guys that experienced a national championship, know what that's all about, and want to get back there very quickly.
All right, you built your team a lot around your home field of Hi Corbett. So good pitching, excellent defense, guys that can hit line drives, right. Guys that don't come up to the plate trying to hit it over the fence every time out. Is this team molded in that way as well?
The beauty of Hi Corbett is that we get a chance right away to get out there. The first day that they go out and start hitting, they realize, Bobby Dahlbeck, I mentioned him a little while ago. He's a freshman. He's 6'4", 6'5". Everybody's getting a little bigger on me now these days, but 6'4", 6'5", good looking. I mean, just a jewel of an athlete and tremendous power, tremendous power. I mean, anybody that knows about Bobby Dahlbeck through high school in Colorado, he's tremendous power. But Bobby Dahlbeck has a hard time hitting him out of Hi Corbett. So it's a real easy lesson plan. All you really have to do is schedule live batting practice, and then the next day you can sit around and say, okay, now we're gonna, our motto is hard and low, hard on the ground, let it turn into line drives and doubles and triples, because hard and high are going to be fly balls, and maybe at another park they'd be home runs, but not at Hi Corbett. So it was good for our guys. I know I wasn't there, but I've talked to my assistant coaches throughout the time that I was rehabbing, and they said everybody seems to have a plan now in terms of offensively, which I think is crucial. Because you can get a lot of frustration at Hi Corbett offensively if you don't hit the ball hard on the ground.
Is there a sense of, I guess, wanting to prove yourself? And I'm talking about the entire team now, because last year a lot of us felt you deserved to be in postseason play. Is there motivation there to kind of show the country? Wait a minute, we were good enough to be there last year.
If it's not for them, it is for me. And I'm sure it is for them, because I've been doing this for 37 years and 32 at the college level, and I'll be very, very honest about this. Last year I thought was the one year in my entire career, and there have been some years where we didn't get in, and I said, in fact, there was one year here, I don't want to bring up a sore spot for anybody, but there was a year here recently where if we would have gotten in, I had told my team the day before, if they get in, I'm going to fake an injury because we don't deserve to get in. I mean, we don't deserve to be in postseason. We did not play well enough. I was really disappointed in last year's decisions, but that's the reality for young guys. I tell them all the time, you've got to do it on the field, because if you leave it in the committee's hands, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I know I'm motivated, and I would imagine that the guys like Trent Gilbert and James Ferris and Riley Moore and just the guys at Tyler Crawford, Matt Troop, those guys have won a national title, and so I think they'll be highly motivated to go out and say, you know what, you made a mistake last year.
Well, you play in arguably the toughest conference. We'll argue in the favor of the toughest conference. You got back-to-back national champions out of the Pac-12. Is the conference going to be as strong or even stronger?
I think it'll be even stronger, and I say that only because what's going on in the Pac-12, not only in baseball, but in with our Lowell Stevens facility, and now with what's going on in McHale, or what's going to happen in McHale, and now you have Washington, University of Washington. They're renovating their baseball facility. Just everybody seems to understand the value of doing that, and so I think it's even going to be tougher. I really do. I really don't. And I know everybody says this, but you say arguably the toughest. I say without a doubt. And I was in the Southeastern Conference for 7 years. There isn't a conference in college baseball right now that you can go and have a head coaches meeting, and in our head coaches meeting, you have Mark Marcus with 2 national championships. Pat Casey at Oregon State with 2 national championships. George Horton has a national championship, and I have 2 national championships, and now John Savage has a national championship. I'm bad with math, but I think that's about 8 or 9. There's no one even near that, in another conference. So it is a real dogfight, but it's great competition. And that's why I was so upset about last year not getting into postseason. Because if you can finish in the top 4 or 5 slots in this conference, you're going to do well in postseason.
Right.
And I think that was proven.
Well, we look forward to a great season from the Wildcats. It starts February 14th at Hi Corbett Field. Our thanks to head coach Andy Lopez.